Limpia Espiritual is an ancient energy cleansing. It is found in cultures like the Zapotec, the Mayan, and the Aztecs, in places like Mexico or Ecuador. It is a part of curanderismo, or traditional folk healing and medicine. It can be performed by anyone at its basic level, and you can find it being performed by brujas or curanderos. But today we are going to do a special practice. So every tribe, every person has their own way of doing it, and we can incorporate many different elements. But to start with you, I'd like to bring this bundle of plants here, and we're going to do what's known as branching. That's okay with you. I'm going to very lightly, I suppose smack would be a bit of a harsh word for it, but lightly tap you with the bundle of plants I have here. And there's not going to be really any force behind it, but what we want to do is we want to absorb any evil or bad energy and take it away. Is that okay with you? Wonderful. So let's start here. There, just very gently. Very gently. And we can come in here. There we go. Now, branching can be done with different herbs like basil or tarragon, epazote, or rue. However, what I have here are wild plants. And these are tied with red thread. Red thread. Red is an important color to distract and ward away from what's known as mal de ojo, which is what this practice is also getting rid of. Bad energy, bad vibrations, and mal de ojo. Now, mal de ojo in English means evil eye. And one can get the evil eye from being looked at with anger or envy or jealousy. And if left untreated, mal de ojo can lead to bad luck or sickness. It's kind of like a curse, basically. Just lightly tapping the branches of herbs all over your body. So something that sets apart different practices of Limpia, there are quite a few members of these different cultures that are Christian, Catholic, and so when they do a Limpia, they may pray, they may invoke the name of saints to help banish the evil energy. And some people might use other sort of affirmations. For example, the Quechua words Kisha, 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 and Yuxi, 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 Yuxi. These are meant to banish evil energies and mal de ojo. And Quechua is a language, one of the many languages that was spoken by people of the Incan Empire. So was found primarily in Peru. But some people do not say anything at all. But here we could just go Kisha, 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 like that. Luxi, 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 Luxi. Kisha, 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 Kisha. Luxi, 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 Luxi. There are a lot of potential elements that one can use in Limpia because it is a practice that is spread over quite a big area with quite a few different people, different indigenous cultures. Some people start with using copal incense and smoke cleansing. Some people use crystals. Some people use different herbs and essences of those herbs, oils of those herbs. Some people use mezcal. Some people use white candles, prayer, invocations, spells almost. It's an interesting blend, sometimes with religion and indigenous beliefs. I think that is quite enough branching. Now, what we do next is we are going to be doing the Limpia con Huevo. And if you know any little bit of Spanish, you might already know what we're going to do. The Limpia con Huevo is egg cleansing. So the egg is the vessel in which we are using to trap any of the malignant energy. And I'm just going to be rubbing it along your head, your face, your neck, your upper chest. Rubbing the egg all over the arms, the hands. And this is almost, let's think of it in a crude analogy, almost like a lint roller, where we are applying the egg all over. We're rolling the egg all over and catching all those little bits. And we can go down along the neck as well. And this egg is washed in salt water before we use it in the Limpia. It's washed in order to make it usable for us, to make it the vessel and not just an egg. And on the hands here, using it to pick up any of that energy that no longer serves you, or energies that you've picked up from other people that may not be so positive. Limpias are great for if you're feeling fatigued, or you feel like your attention is being taken away from what you need and want to do. If you feel generally unwell even. Keep running the egg along the body here. And on your other hand, good. And on the chest here. Good. Limpias can be done even every day, really. There's no limit to how many you can have done. Though you don't necessarily need to do one every day. Okay, and on your stomach here. Beautiful words. Beautiful words from very old language. How are you doing so far? Yes, it's a little bit odd having an egg rubbed all over you. I can definitely understand that. We're going to come back up. Over the arms, on the hands. And over the head and the face. some people, when they are done with the egg cleansing, they crack it in a glass of water, clear glass, and they look at the yolk and what forms. Depending on the shape, I can tell you if you are experiencing mal de ojo, if you have your higher power, your guardians, whatever you believe in, looking after you, and tell you if you are in physical sickness. And some people still might put this under their bed. It's a lot of different practices. I am going to be getting a couple different herbal mixtures, and we are going to be doing a massage, and I'm also going to have you do almost like a self-anointing. So let's start with a little bit of oil. We can start on the face here. Now, the herbal mixtures also depend on your practitioner and the application. Might have someone who uses a lot of roses or carnations. You might have someone who uses a lot of aloe. We're going to rub this oil in on the face, the head, the neck, the arms and hands, and the stomach and the back, and finish with the feet. This is to help protect you and keep any unwanted energy from coming back. Just making sure to apply this all over. Into the hair, along the face. You can do along the neck and the chest here. How is this pressure? Banishing away any of the evil energy that others might have projected onto you. getting rid of any misfortune, any sickness. Just going to come in the back here, to the back of the neck. And then some for the arms and hands. Do one side. This is quite brisk, yeah. Almost kind of scrubbing in the healing, the protection. And the stomach here. And some for the back. Good. And a little bit for the feet here. We are going to get some rose essence here, and I'm going to have you hold out your hands for me. I am going to give you a few drops, and then what I want you to do is rub it between your hands and then smell. Take a deep breath in, take another good smell, and take another smell. And then I'm going to have you pass it over your head like this. Good. We'll do that again. A few drops. And rub your hands together. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Deep inhale. And exhale. Deep inhale. And exhale. Good. And then this time, run it over the head and neck. Just like this. Good. And a couple more passes here. Take a deep inhale. Good. And this time, pass it over the arms and the hands. And lastly, a little bit, rub between your hands. Good, and this time rub it on the stomach, all along the abdominal area. Very good. Now lastly, traditionally, the last step is a mezcal spray, if you will. One would drink mezcal, which is a spirit made by the agave plant, and then they would spit that onto the person, on their head, their arms, their stomach, and their back, and it would create a spray of it. Now, I don't want to spit on you, so we're going to use a mist bottle of it, and I'm just going to be spritzing you with the mezcal, right? So it might be kind of cold, okay? Is that all right? The stomach here. And on the back. that should be quite enough. Now, let's just rub some of that in a bit. There. Make sure we don't get any near your eyes. And that completes our Limpia Espiritual. Is there absolutely anything else that I can do for you? Okay, wonderful. So this practice may leave you feeling a little out of sorts almost, especially if you have been feeling quite lethargic and heavy, weighted down lately. When that is taken away from us, even though it was negative for us, we still have to compensate for the way we have kept going with that extra weight, with that extra heaviness. May feel a little out of sorts for a day or two, but definitely lots of good rest, healthy food, tons of water. That's going to be your best way to care for yourself after this cleansing. You have any other questions for me? No? Wonderful. I'd like to thank you so much for joining me for this Limpia cleansing. I hope you have a whale of a day and a good rest of your night. Thank you. Bye now. The Limpia Espiritual is something that has been on my list for a very long time. Ever since I first found the Ecuador Live channel, in which they do these limpias, but it is on camera, and while they do put ASMR in the title, it is more like unintentional ASMR. For the most part, they're going about everything as they normally would. But I found it just absolutely fascinating, especially because with all the different sources that I looked at, there are so many different tribes that had their own version of the practice. And it was interesting to see one source that said that it was found mostly in South America, and then another source that said it was a Zapotec ritual. It was really all over the place. So it was a pretty prevalent practice, which I found very interesting. But I was able to find resources from a Latina Bruja, the USC Digital Folklore Archives, a couple different articles, one of those Zapotec curanderos. It was a really cool video to research for. And I also got to watch a couple of the Doña Esperanza and Doña Rosa videos for research as well, which was extremely relaxing. I always love when I can refer to ASMR videos for my research. Makes it just so much better. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was really fun to film, to get some of the Dame's rocket that is in one of the nearby forests. It was just a cool time.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I create primarily medical, alternative medicine / pseudoscience, and personal attention ASMR roleplays. If you want to check out a specific category of my videos, my channel playlists have everything from sci-fi to historical to even fantasy videos. If you want to support my work, consider checking out my Patreon profile in the description box, where I offer early access to videos, exclusive content, and MP3 downloads of my videos. My social